You are welcome to the Wealthy Continent channel, a channel dedicated to the great people and continent of Africa. Remember, it is not a place that defines the status of the people. Rather, it is the people that define status of the place. As we continue our journey of financial literacy, we're going to be looking at the topic, call debt what it is. You know, sometimes the name we give or the name we're given concerning that makes it look as if it's cool. But it is not cool. We need to call it exactly what it is. I need to call it what it is. You need to call it what it is. Now, you will hear such names as secured loan, unsecured loan. You will hear names like refinancing, home equity loan, remortgaging, private loan, personal loan. You will hear credit facility. You will hear a lot of things. Buy now, pay later. It's just credit given to me. When you look at it from that angle, it's the same thing. It all means the same thing, but the name makes it look as if it's different. You will hear something like good debt, bad debt. And we need to look at things objectively. In 1997, a book came out. I would recommend that you read the book because there are many things in that book that will teach you some things about finance. That book rocked the financial world. The book was written by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You will learn so many things from the book, and the things that are not applicable, you will let it go. Now, that is where the term good debt and bad debt came from. And up to this present day, you will still hear people talking about it's a good debt, it's a bad debt. If you go to the bank today and tell them, I want to borrow good debt, just good debt, not bad debt, they won't understand what you are talking about. Because as far as the bank understand that they are lending you money, they are loaning you money, it is debt. So whatever name you give to it does not matter. Now, it means that you have an obligation to make payment. It means you have an obligation to pay interest. It means you have an obligation not to default, because if you default, there are consequences. It means that you need to sign a contract saying that you agree to the terms of the loan. So what is it that makes it good or bad debt? If you read the book, one of the things is, if you look at it, it is your intention and what you use the money for. That means if you are buying things that appreciate in value, if you are buying things or doing business with that money that gives you a cash flow and allows you to pay the bank back and still have money in your pocket, it is defined as a good debt. It's a bad debt when you are buying things that depreciate in value and also you still have to still make the payment. So at the end of the day, you are buying depreciating assets and you are making payments. You don't have any money in your pocket. And that's where the term bad debt comes from. But if the bank or the financial services, industries in the financial services look at it, they only see one thing, is debt. Call it remortgaging, call it refinancing, call it buy now, pay later, call it credit card, whatever name you give it, secure loan, unsecured loan, private loan, whatever it is. If you go to the bank and say, I want to buy a car in the Western world, they'll give you a loan. They won't say you are buying a depreciating asset. No. If you go there to say and you are qualified to get a mortgage, they'll give you a mortgage. But everything is seen as debt from the financial services. They don't see it as good debt. They don't see it as bad debt because it's going to go through the same process. They are going to approve it. You are going to complete forms. You are going to tell them how much you are making. You are going to tell them your collateral. And the risk involved is still there. So whether it's good debt or bad debt, you still have a risk element. Somebody might say, but I have a good intention to use that money. Now, so many people have good intentions. It's not every intention that works out to be good. At the end of the day, you have a liability. You need to make payment. Now, the reason this topic is so important is so that you don't get confused with the terminology or the name of the debt. Debt is simply debt. If you go and borrow, you have an obligation to pay. There's a risk that things might not go the way you wanted. Debt only works when everything works. And when everything doesn't work, you have a liability on your hand and you still need to make payment. This understanding will help us to know what to do and how to do things and how to approach things. But let us call it exactly the name that it is. Debt is simply debt. If you have been getting value from our videos, we'd like you to consider subscribing to this channel, clicking on that like button and sharing with others. Remember, a candle does not lose its value by giving light to others. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time.